this cat skid steer today, a 289 D3. I believe it's a 21. I can't remember. I think it's a 21. Customer complaints of hard cranking when cold and no start. So immediately jumped to the fuel filter. One of the symptoms, I mean, it's maybe not going to be the issue. It wasn't for this one, but it could be a clogged fuel filter. I already serviced that before, so it's not that. Did it not too long ago. So the next step I really took was the glow plugs, because it was starting fine when it's hot out, but it's not when it's cold, so would probably indicate a problem with the glow plug system. You look online, you won't find much on where this stuff is, so I figured I'd make a video. This is the serial number, engine I'm working on, the C3.3 Bravo there. So like I said, it's cranking, and it won't start. And it probably takes them like 5 or 6 attempts. They got to put a charger on the battery to get it to crank finally once it's somewhat warming up from. So the first step, if I were you doing this again, I would start with, since you don't have the schematic, I can just show you what you're probably dealing with here. So the first part of this is what I did was looking at the back of the engine. Back here, there's 2 relays back there. You see they're not bolted together because I haven't bolted back up yet. The first one, I'm not entirely sure what that goes to, but the back one, let's see if I can zoom in here. The back one, see it has that blue wire? That is the glow plug relay. I replaced that, just go to Napa. I can include the part number I used to test that out. Throw a new one in, same story. That bolt right there is a 10mm bolt. Reach back in there. Not the hardest thing to get to, but getting the bolt back in is a different story. But unplug that relay. Ran to Napa, pick up a relay just in case it's the relay. That was similar. That didn't do the trick. Also, that blue wire goes up here. I found the schematic somewhere where that relay gets power from, and that gets power from a little hidden inline fuse block over here. I can't run there better, but there's 3 inline fuses here. The far left one here is a 50 amp. Put that up for you too. So boom, 50 amp fuse. That was blown. It's not blown right now because I already replaced it. So this is the fuse I used, the Napa part number there. I bought 3 of them. You should probably buy 3 of them too, or at least 2. Yours might just be the fuse. Replace that fuse. Brand new relay was on there. Couldn't test for power here. So something was blowing that fuse. It would either be the harness or the glow plugs. So these glow plugs are connected by this bridge. Basically, they all connect in a row here. It's not throwing any codes for glow plugs, which surprised me because I thought it would be smart enough to do that, but it wasn't. So what I did was take these, it's a little nut on top of the bridge, it's a brand new nut. Take these out. If you drop the nut, don't worry about it. I mean, worry about if it gets in the fan or whatever. But you take that off, it's a 7mm bolt. What I did was use a stubby 7mm on an extension, 1/4 inch ratchet, and then when I got to the end of it, I took a magnet, telescoping magnet little thing. I'll show you later what I use, but to get it off there so you don't drop it, because it's easy with this one and that one. But the 4th one, it's kind of, you can probably take this off, but I left it on there. But down in there, it's hard to get your finger in there to get it off. But yes, took that off, move the bridge. You can test the glow plugs while it's in there. However, I pulled the first one because it was getting a bad reading, which ended up being bad. So yeah, these are the tools I used, all of them. This for the fuses. like I said, the 7mm with the extension, 1/4 inch ratchet, probably a longer one I can bend probably. And I took this, put it on the nut. I didn't know if the new ones came with nuts, so I tried saving them, as you should anyways, with any job. But what I was getting to here is I pulled. So what you do when it's in the vehicle is you set your altimeter to this. You put the power to the tip right here where that bridge would make contact, that connects them all together. And then the ground, you want to put the base. This would make contact with the head. So that reading from that being on the tip and then this being on the base would give you resistance through the glow plug. I called Cat, ordered 4 glow plugs, and make sure you order the O-ring too. They do not come like this, they come with just the glow plug itself. This is a little O-ring, and you might as well replace those while you're in here. And I would suggest just doing all of them unless you're on a budget, just want to do one of them. This is the cost on those. This is the part number 387 is a glow plug. That little O-ring is the 387-9900. $54 each, essentially, plus a $7 O-ring. So total $258 essentially, which isn't terrible for 4 of them. I mean, could be worse than on Cat. But yeah, make sure you do that. This comes separate in a separate bag. Glow plug comes in this with a nut. Does come with a brand new nut. And it's a gasket. So what you do is just, what I did was put the glow plug on its back right here and then push the O-ring from the back. Make sure it's going the right way. It is like tapered to sit in the cylinder head nicely, and it looks different on the top here. You'll notice it. Do that, and then yeah. So installing the glow plug, and this will be on there obviously. Put it in there. You can't mess it up. There's a hole in there in the head that you put the glow plug into. Put that in there. Tighten it down at 10mm. That 4th one's just a pain in the ass to get into, but yep, do that. Put the bridge back in, the seal piece here. Put that back in, and get that back in there. Put the nuts on, the brand new nuts. Make sure you connect your injectors, connectors. And then make sure the stud's like this. Just a little cover on here. Zip tie. Make sure that's on there. And then make sure you put a new fuse in before you do that, before you try to turn it over again. Yeah. And then